This is Channel 13.
Living side by side, dreaming 2 by 2. You are the reason that we do what we do. For you, yeah, for you. We do it for you on WIBW.
Welcome back in on a Throwback Thursday to this, the WIBW Digital News Center, where we are happy to give you another edition of the WIBW That Way Video Vault. Tomorrow is Independence Day, July 4th, and that means a lot of you will be having celebrations all around the Northeast Kansas area. Maybe you are heading out of town on the road. In the capital city, the premier celebration is the Spirit of Kansas. A lot of you who are long-timers also remember a celebration that was called Go Forth. Go Forth for many years was held over on the Washburn University campus, but then in the late 90s, things shifted over to Lake Shawnee and the Spirit of Kansas was born. And we at WIBW have had a long relationship with the Spirit of Kansas. We've been the sponsor since it began. Here we go. We found this in a drawer this morning. Yes, the old Spirit of Kansas t-shirt. At that time, Country Legends 1069 was our media sponsor, or our fellow media sponsor. We had a lot of fun with them, simulcasting the soundtrack, if you will, for the fireworks. And then nowadays it is 94, and then it moved to 94 Country. You're going to hear that in some of things. And then Cumulus 107.7, Magic 107 is where you'll hear the soundtrack this year, as you have for other places. So how did it get there? How did Spirit of Kansas come to be? We dove into our archives, and really a good recap happened when we did our 13 at 65 project back in 2018. We dug into the archives and shared some of these backstories and history for you. So as we begin our video vault today, let's head into the archives for a complete recap from 13 at 65 back in 2018.
The rocket's red glare first soared over Lake Shawnee in 1997.
I have not missed one of these.
Shawnee County Parks and Recreation's Randy Luby was there for that one and every one since.
And they get better every year.
That first year, it was a last-minute move of the grand finale only from Washburn University's campus. In 1998, the festival followed and Spirit of Kansas was born.
We're going to have a total of 5 cameras out here.
With WIBW TV signing on as the sponsor that year.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this special live edition of 13 News at 5.
And in all the years to follow.
That hillside is packed with families waiting for the show to start. And then
joining what's now a tradition for many.
A lot of families now plan their 4th of July event out here at Lake Shawnee. They come in early morning and basically stay all day. They have a family picnic and they try to come out to get the best spots possible. You'll see 6:30 in the morning, some of them are already at their spot.
Through the years, the main logistical concern hasn't changed.
Well, traffic is moving pretty smoothly all day long here today.
The traffic.
We worked a lot of hours with emergency management, the Sheriff's Department, AMR, Topeka Police, our Park Police to devise a traffic plan to get the people out here as quick as possible. Still, the quickest way is to use the free bus shuttle we have.
A frantic end to what spent 2 decades growing into a day packed with fun.
We have the ski show, the car show, we have the craft festival starting in the morning. One of the main things we've done recently was add the blues festival, and the Topeka Blues Society has taken that and has just run with it. They do a fabulous job.
But the spirit nearly faded. The summer after 9/11, with the economy struggling, the county simply couldn't afford it and reached out to local businesses. Capital Federal CEO John Dykes didn't hesitate.
This Spirit of Kansas update is brought to you by Capital Federal Savings. Red, white, and true blue.
Having worked with some people who were in the World Trade Centers when they went down, their companies were, and fortunately with our foundation, we were in a place that we could step up and be a part of it and save the fireworks. There's nothing more American than the fireworks on the 4th of July. So it was something we were excited about being able to do and have stayed involved ever since.
Thanks to the continued involvement of sponsors like Capital Federal, the Spirit of Kansas remains free for families to enjoy.
And it's a way to bring the community together, being able to do this and all the events without any cost. It's a fun day to be able to enjoy summer, be able to enjoy family, and be able to celebrate our nation's birthday.
Super fun to be involved with Spirit of Kansas over all of these years. We've had a great crew out there many, many years. A couple things have changed since what you heard Randy Luby talking about there. First of all, I think Randy Luby's retired, so good for him. But also shuttles. The shuttle buses are no more. After several years, they have really nailed that traffic plan in getting folks in and out. It's a pretty quick exit now. So the shuttles they have done away with. No shuttles out to Lake Shawnee. And then, you know, the music, as you've seen it evolve. The Blues Fest is going to be back. The car show is going to be back. They make it, the car show actually is a benefit for people now. Okay, you caught some glimpses in there of some familiar faces who were just a few years younger back in 1998 and 99. Both David and I were there for those Spirit of Kansas broadcasts. We're going to give you more of a look at our coverage from those first years of the Spirit of Kansas when our Video Vault segment returns in 60 seconds. Welcome back to our Throwback Thursday Video Vault, your feature here from the WIBW Digital News Center as we are taking a look back at Spirit of Kansas years past. Back in 1998, the festival moved out to Lake Shawnee from what had been previously known as Go Forth. That year it was just the fireworks, kind of a late deal where they just wanted to move the fireworks show out there in order to keep it going. And then in 1999, the Spirit of Kansas full festival was born. But let's take a look back because in 1998, this was kind of a logistical thing. People didn't quite know what to expect. First year that families were invited to kind of share their day out there at Lake Shawnee. So let's take a look back in our Video Vault. Some of our coverage from that first year of Spirit of Kansas at Lake Shawnee, 1998.
Whether it was by boat, by car, or even like our own Jonathan Kirsch by air, Topekans by the thousands headed out to Lake Shawnee to celebrate the 4th. Things started heating up early this morning.
We wanted to avoid the traffic and get a good spot by the lake because with the fireworks and everybody on the 4th, usually there's a lot of traffic and a lot of people usually are out.
Our news team added to the festivities, popping up all over the lake, giving fireworks fans the latest updates.
It'll be beautiful no matter where you are, out here with us or at home. So
people started gathering early, jockeying for just the right spot to view the fireworks.
And they came out here about 7 or 8 o'clock this morning to save the spot.
Pyrotechnic professionals prepared for the perfect display. They rolled out the rockets early this morning.
I have a lovely setting for it. Most shows you're in places that, you know, the setting may not play with you, but this one with the lake I think will be gorgeous.
All the preparations and waiting was rewarded just moments ago as the fireworks burst into the air above Lake Shawnee, drifting in the sky, reflecting their colorful brilliance on the lake's surface. Kara Connolly, 13 News.
It was absolutely just beautiful, and we enjoyed every minute of it.
the highlight of every 4th of July weekend, the big show.
They were awesome. Finale was great. It was worth a 30-minute trip.
Thousands of people headed out this weekend to Lake Shawnee to see craft booths, bands, and the 4th of July grand finale, fireworks. But lots of preparations and hard work went into making this weekend picture perfect. Before anyone set up camp for the Spirit of Kansas, bulldozers were already staking out the area.
Well, it can be kind of tedious. There's a lot of details involved in it, and you have to pay attention to what's going on.
Vendors were busy for days hammering out the rough spots so that lakegoers could fill up on snacks and check out country crafts this weekend. Even our own CBS production team were wired up for the big show.
We're going to have a total of 5 cameras out here shooting the not only the things on Friday, but also the main festivities on Saturday.
Before the big show, workers set up fireworks displays, choreographing the lights to the music.
That's where the artistic element comes in, because you can ply the actual production, of course, the shells, and make the shells blend with the music as it breaks.
All this work went in just to make sure your 4th of July was something spectacular. Lori Michaels, 13 News.
You can see some of the fun we had there in 1998. A lot of those same faces or familiar faces were around in 1999. So after you see this is a bit of a longer segment. It's our full day of coverage that we had, but some of the folks there that were mentioned, Jonathan Kirsch is living in Colorado. Kara Connolly is working for a healthcare company up in Wisconsin. Dana Wright, of course, is working in radio in the Kansas City area. Ralph has retired, as you know. Mark Ewing continues to work in the Manhattan area. David Oliver's back here. Did you know that? Yes, of course. Let's see who else. Sandra Olivas is working for a banking company out in the Kansas City area. Brooke Bama is in Des Moines, if I hadn't mentioned that. Tim Gerber worked in San Antonio in television for many years. He has now moved to Ohio, where some family is, and is running a family business there. So a lot of folks who have gone on to a lot of great things. Some of these faces you're going to recognize also from our 1999 coverage. This is a bit of a longer segment, and you can see how our hair looked back in 1999. Here you go.
I'm David Oliver.
And I'm Dana Wright, inviting you to join the celebration of the summer, Spirit of Kansas 99.
This weekend, right here at Lake Shawnee.
Spirit of Kansas 99, July 3rd and 4th at Lake Shawnee.
There's a lot of planning before you ever see the Rockets' red glare on the 4th. A behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to make the night sky light up.
Plus, if you're headed out to the Spirit of Kansas, we've got the best way for you to get there. We'll point you in the right direction.
And some of this year's biggest attractions start before the sun goes down. We'll take you on the lake for a practice of this year's free water skiing spectacular. And now, a special Spirit of Kansas live edition of 13 News.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this special live edition of 13 News at 5, coming to you from Lake Shawnee.
Well, if you're sitting home watching the news right now, you've still got time to come out to Lake Shawnee. There is so much going on. There are tons of families, lots of food out here. We had some a little while ago. And, of course, you got the water ski show tonight. The Capitals are going to be playing.
The Capitals are playing baseball, but it is a fitting day for sailing. Now, that's not an organized event, but if you were, you could go across the lake very quickly.
Yes. Right, it's very windy out here, but it's not too bad in the shade, Dave.
No, it's not too bad in the shade. It looks like the winds will be lightening up a little bit for the fireworks later on tonight. I do want to point out that Mark Ewing is now the only guy who can sit in a stool and put his foot flat on the floor.
Like that? Yeah. The rest of because I didn't want to show off my tennis shoes was the whole thing. Because I am different.
Thanks a lot, Mark.
The grand finale of the Spirit of Kansas is tonight with the area's biggest and best fireworks display.
Of course, before you ever see the Rockets' red glare or the night sky light up, there's a lot of work that goes into that. And Tim Gerber's going to talk more about that. Tim, you know, last year's fireworks were really spectacular. What are we going to see this year?
Well, David, more colors, more bangs, more blasts. That's what you can expect to see when the night sky is lit up over Lake Shawnee tonight. Of course, the whole show is choreographed to music that will be played live on 97 Country and our friends over at AM 580 WIBW. It may only be about a 30-minute show, but it takes a lot more time and preparation to put it all together. Here's a look.
You got to feel the fireworks. You got to hear them. I'll tell you something else that we have this year that I think people are going to notice. Crackling. Unbelievable crackling in the sky.
If Gary Camano has his way, this year's Spirit of Kansas fireworks show will blow you away. But before the night sky lights up, there's a lot of hard work to be done.
It's a hard process. A total show from beginning to end. From the moment the client says, this is our music, we go in the studio and produce the musical track, to the time that I finish scripting it, is like almost a 5-day process. If you took just straight time, no breaks. It takes approximately 14 to 24 hours each show to choreograph it.
It's Kamano's job to see that all the tubes and explosives are in the right place.
We'll lay all the shells out first, and then we'll take the runs. Every one of you will have a script. I've got plenty of copies, and all you're concentrating on is making sure that you've got the appropriate number of everything.
Kamano's fireworks shows even come complete with scripts and a musical score. It takes a lot of planning to make it all add up and make it different from last year's show.
It's all about choreography, how you set a show up. And last year's show was designed to that musical score, and that's in the can and over with. And this year's show is totally new. In fact,
once it's all timed out, it's up to Kamano and his helpers to make sure hundreds of pounds of explosives are connected to miles of wires. Once that's done, it's showtime.
It's going to be really exciting. I think it's going to be a very upbeat and happy show. You know what I'm saying? Happiness. It's the 4th of July. It's our nation's holiday, so let's do it right.
It is going to be very exciting. Not much to look up in the sky right now, just a few clouds, but later tonight it's going to be filled with lots of colors. A few surprises planned this year. We won't tell you exactly what they are because we don't want to give them away. I will give you a hint, though. It has something to do with a country music legend and a very emotional tribute. David, we'll send it back to you. The biggest and the best fireworks right here at Lake Shawnee. Of course, there are going to be really thousands of people out here tonight. And with that said, it's pretty important to really know where you're going to be going out here.
That is right. For the traffic report, we're going to go to Sandra Olivas. And Sandra, we really breezed in and out of here. The traffic's not too bad.
Not at all. Traffic is moving pretty smoothly all day long here today. And we have the event organizers to thank for that. They have come up with a simple route to get you in and out of the lake as quickly as possible. So don't stay home and let traffic concerns keep you there. Round up the family and come on out.
Before you can splash into some fun at Lake Shawnee, you'll have to sit through this, a little bit of traffic. But drivers say it's not so bad.
It was less busy than we thought it was going to be.
And if you bring this good attitude with you?
Oh, definitely bearable, especially to have a good time out at the lake.
People like Jessica Farr are out here to help you as they direct traffic into the parking lots.
Follow the signs, that's a good clue. We have signs up everywhere to point you where you're going, but that's probably about it. It's just follow the signs. You're not going to be able to go the normal roads.
Basically, traffic will be allowed in and out of the lake area from just 2 streets, Southeast 29th and 45th. After the fireworks show, you'll leave the lake traveling west on those same streets. One traffic jam to avoid will be on Southeast Croco Road and 29th. Drivers will be detouring around the construction. And here's one more tip.
Take your time when it's over. Don't get in a hurry because it's just like everywhere else. Seems like the more you rush, the more you get backed up. Be courteous, let the guy in front of you. Maybe somebody will let you in too.
Now, I won't lie to you, you'll definitely need that patience tonight at 10 o'clock after the fireworks. With 75,000 people expected out here, traffic will move pretty slowly out here. That's just like any other big event like the Royals game or the Chiefs game, but I'm told the fireworks are going to be awesome, so it's definitely going to be worth it, Dana.
And you got a great view from up there, Sandra. Thank you for that live report. Now, if you'd rather not hop in your car and drive out here, there's a very easy alternative. Starting right now, you can drive to White Lakes Mall, park your car there, and catch a free bus ride to the west side of the lake. Now, get this. After the fireworks, the bus will take you back to the mall, and you will be the first one out of here. Probably the quickest and easiest way to get in and out tonight.
And now we're going to check in with Dave Relihan, your first guest. Like we said, not too bad in the shade, Dave.
No, it really isn't. We've enjoyed the shade here at the Shelter House for the past couple of hours.
This Spirit of Kansas update is brought to you by the Kansas Lottery, which invites you to put yourself in a winning state, and by Capital Federal Savings. Red, white, and true blue.
Good evening and happy July 4th to you all. We are still live at Lake Shawnee for Spirit of Kansas 99. Had a great weekend out here, lots and lots of fun. And really, this is the premier event in Northeast Kansas for the 4th of July. We have the best fireworks, lots of fun out here, and there are tons and tons of people everywhere you look as well.
There are tens of thousands of them, and our Melissa Bruner is standing by with a bunch of them, and the excitement's kind of been building all night. You can hear the fireworks in the background. And Melissa, what are folks saying about the show that's set here to start in about 5 minutes?
Tell you what, David and Dana, everyone is very excited for the show that's about to start. We are on the far side of Tin Man Circle, and the hill that goes down to the lake. You might be able to make out some shapes behind me. That hillside is packed with families waiting for the show to start. And then beyond that, on the lake itself, you might be able to see some of those lights in the darkness. Those are all boats, several dozen boats out on the lake for people to get a very unique vantage point. Also on the interior of Tin Man Circle, lots of folks waiting for this show to start. And you can tell that they're very enthusiastic. You know, we did this last year as well out here. This year it's been a lot louder leading up to the main fireworks display. Lots of folks bringing some of their own stuff in and having a little pre-show, if you will. You can hear some of them going off behind us. And we're getting ready for the big show in about 4 minutes from now. Tim Gerber was out watching them set the big show up this past couple days, and he's joining us now with a look at what it took to get this all together and some special stuff, right, Tim?
Thanks a lot, Melissa. As you alluded to, for about the past 45 minutes, we've had fireworks going off all across the lake and right around us, kind of a precursor to what we're going to see. And I tell you, I was out there earlier this week, yesterday, and they've been putting this together for a very long time, and you were in for one heck of a show. If you're staying at home, keep it tuned right here to Channel 13. We're going to carry the event live on Living Color, right on TV, so stay tuned. It's going to be right there. If you're out on the lake, or if you're kind of seeing this right next to your house, it's close to the lake, tune your radios to 97 Country, because the entire 4th of July fireworks are going to be simulcast live right on there with all the music, as well as 580 WIBW. It's going to be set to music. It's going to be one heck of a show. Dana, David, we'll send it back to you to get us going for Spirit of Kansas 99.
All right, thank you, Tim. And we understand there's going to be a bit of a surprise packed into this show tonight, too. Tim alluded to that a little bit earlier. They're not exactly saying what it is, but it is a tribute of some sort to a mega country star.
I bet it is. And I tell you what, we saw some of the video earlier on the news from 5 to 6 of them setting up the fireworks show, and it's really going to be a great, great show. Mark, you're pretty excited, I know, because this is your first time here for Spirit of Kansas.
It sort of sounds like Baghdad during Desert Storm. I mean, leading up to it's just been unbelievable. And other than my contribution of actually eating the picnic food for you guys, I'm glad we're in this picnic shelter here, and about 40 yards as I look over this direction. I just took a walk just a little while ago, and it doesn't look like there's a lot of people, but you walk this way, take a left turn, and all you see is beach blanket bingo. They're just lined up along the shoreline, just as far as you can see. Of course, the lights are out, so you can't see them. Don't trip over anybody, but there are just a ton of people here. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
I did trip over something.
No, I noticed that.
That's right, and there's really no bad seat here, and there's certainly no bad seat if you're sitting at home, because you can keep it tuned right here to Channel 13. Turn on the radio, either 97 Country again or 580 WIBW AM, and kind of have it in stereo.
Well, you can, and to go along with Mark's story, when we pulled out here earlier this afternoon, there were maybe 100 cars in Tin Man Circle, and they've just been rolling in throughout the nighttime hours, and I'd be hard-pressed to guess exactly how many people are out there. But I think we've had a better turnout this year than last, primarily because last year's show was so great. And this one does promise to bring us some surprises, not only with a country western tribute, but also with some noisemakers or buzzers.
That's what they were saying, cracklers.
That's right,
and
cracklers.
Like you were saying, too, we've got lots of people out on the shore here at Lake Shawnee, but you also got a lot of people out in their boats as well. You can kind of see it on your screen there, the little speckled lights. Those are actually boats. Folks out on the boats going to enjoy the fireworks by the lake tonight, on the lake, rather, that would be. So it's going to be a great show. We're just waiting on the countdown right now, and it's been just so much fun out here. We've had lots of food and lots of fun. They had the Arts and Crafts Festival. We had the Topeka Capitals playing tonight as well. And did we know that they win tonight?
Yeah, actually the Capitals won, so there's good karma right now. Capitals were up 2-0, scored 2 runs in the top of the first inning, and then scored late and ended up winning a game 4-2 after losing 3-2 this afternoon. So they win the nightcap. The Capitals have won. The Royals win. We're ready for fireworks. Should be a good night.
The Capitals are ready for the fireworks.
They are too.
The second game victory.
They are.
Well, we just want you guys to sit back and enjoy the show. Crank up that radio. It is going to be a spectacular event. We're about 15 seconds away from the big show.
So you can sit back and relax and enjoy the best fireworks show here in Northeast Kansas. It's Spirit of Kansas 99. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. We'll see you after it's all over with. Happy 4th, everybody.
The Spirit of Kansas at Lake Shawnee. It's all brought to you by Shawnee County Parks and Recreation, Kinko's, Coca-Cola, Channel 13, Capital Federal Savings, Multimedia Cablevision, Amvestors, Channel 13, and 97 Country. Shawnee County Parks and Recreation, Kinko's, Coca-Cola, Channel 13, Capital Federal Savings, Multimedia Cablevision, Investors, Channel 13, and 97 Country.
Wow. That just gave me chills.
I mean, we are so honored to bring this to you. That is just so beautiful.
Wonderful.
I mean, you just
hear the cheering and the...
kind of leaves you speechless. You don't know what to say when you see something like that, you know? It just really kind of makes you patriotic. Things like that, you know?
Absolutely. What a wonderful show. We want to thank everyone who came out here and shared this day with us, not only the vendors, the people that came to the arts and crafts booths, everyone that came out and brought their families, and of course you sitting at home watching tonight.
Yeah, if you're expecting some folks to come home tonight from the festival here, it could take them a little while to get out of here because the traffic's going to be a little bit difficult. So if they took the bus, though, they might get home a little sooner. So just be patient with your loved ones who are making their way home from Lake Shawnee. And the weather cooperated.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I think it took us about an hour and 15, 20 minutes to get home from, or back into Topeka proper to last year. So it's going to be about that much time, or maybe a little longer.
Mark, what'd you think?
That was great. There were 700 oohs and 698 ahs, so the oohs beat the ahs tonight. It was really nice to watch. I enjoyed it, and I think everybody here enjoyed it. Yeah. Channel 13 enjoyed bringing it to you, and certainly the people around here enjoyed it.
Absolutely. We're going to want you to stay tuned right now. We're going to bring you Sandra Olivas, who's back in our studios for 13 News at 10, a special late edition after the fireworks. Hi, Sandra.
Northeast Kansas wished America a happy birthday in grand style. Things are winding down at Lake Shawnee right now. We'll bring you a live report from the Spirit of Kansas celebration. As you just saw right here on WIBW, the impressive fireworks shows at the lake just came to an end. 13's Melissa Bruner joins us now live from there with some reaction. And Melissa, what are you hearing from folks down there?
I tell you what, Sandra, it's got to be unanimous. A fabulous show out here at Lake Shawnee, and you don't have to take my word for it. We've got some of the young people. When do we all have our best 4th of July memories? From when we were young. So we're going to ask some of the youngsters in the crowd what they thought of the show. What's your name, sir?
Nick Arnold.
Nick, what was your favorite part?
At the end, when all the fireworks just lit up the sky.
Yeah, was it pretty bright?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your name?
Joshua Maddox.
Joshua, what was your favorite part?
When the end part. The same thing, yeah.
When it was really, really bright. Let me ask you, what's your name?
Sarah Pfeffer.
Now, I know that you all went over and turned up the radio to 97 Country so you could hear it with the music. What did you think of that?
I loved it.
You said this was your first time out here, right?
Yep.
What do you think?
I loved it. It was the best. I'm coming back next year.
I bet you will be. And how about one more? How about you way over here? What's your name?
Ebony.
Ebony, what was your favorite part?
Last firecrackers.
When it was really loud and it lit up the sky, right? As you can see, of course, when it was brightest and loudest, Sandra, is when everybody loved it. And a great show out here. We're going to see everybody back out here next year, I'm sure. Sandra?
Definitely, and that was so beautiful even to watch here at home on the television. Melissa, thank you for that live report.
You bet.
It is always fun to bring you the Spirit of Kansas and the joy. I'd love to hear if you're watching this and you recognize yourself when you were, gosh, you know, how many years ago is that now? 25, 26, 27 years ago? I tried to find some of those names on Facebook. I think I found one person. But it's always fun to look back in our archives and see those sorts of things and bring you the Spirit of Kansas celebration. Some of you might be going, 97 Country, what are you talking about? So yeah, we mentioned a few things that have changed over the years since then. 97 Country has become 94.5 Country, Alpha Media. But this year's soundtrack for the Spirit of Kansas celebration will be on 107.7 Magic 107.7 KMAJ radio. No shuttles this year. You heard a lot of talk throughout there in those early years of Spirit of Kansas. They used to have shuttles that would run from the old White Lake Small property and bring you out there. They have mastered really the traffic situation since then. And so just follow the directions. There's usually one way in, one way out. Yes, you may have to kind of go a little further south or a little further north before you can turn back and get the direction that you want to go. But that really has made the lake traffic kind of clear out and prevent a lot of those traffic jams that we have seen in years past. We hope you will come to see this year's Spirit of Kansas. We outlined it a little bit last week on our Eye on Northeast Kansas show, but here is the schedule of events. 9 o'clock, the car show opens to the public at Tin Man Circle. Registration opens an hour before that. There is, I believe, a $20 entry fee, and that all goes to a charity that has yet to be publicly announced, but they're going to designate which charity the car show proceeds will go to this year. It's a great, great, great event. The Blues Fest gets underway at 10:30 a.m. behind Reynolds Lodge. It is all free, folks. They have 5 bands lined up. That opening ceremony at 10:30 a.m. will include Spirit Dancer again, Dennis Rogers. He always is fantastic to watch. And then all day long, as you peruse between the car show and Blues Festival, they will have food trucks and vendors set up around that Tin Man Circle area. 6:30, turn your eyes to the Cove as you stake out your spot for the fireworks, because the water ski show will be back. They're going to be doing that for about an hour or so, the water ski show. And then, of course, 10 p.m., the fireworks will light up the sky. And that is the star of the show for any 4th of July celebration. Capital Federal is again back as the sponsor for the fireworks show. They actually increased their donation this year in order to make that happen. I cannot get back to, oh, I know what I got to do. I got to do that in order for you to see me again. Take that out. That's how you do it. There are different buttons back here, folks. I'm not used to doing that. So Spirit of Kansas, Capital Federal, the title sponsor, increased their donation to make that fireworks show what you would expect from a 4th of July spectacular in your capital city of Kansas. I hope you have enjoyed this trip down memory lane with us. We always are so excited to dig into our archives and see. And especially for David and I, this one in particular has been fun to look back and say, oh my gosh, we really were that young. For those who think I've never changed my hair in nearly 30 years here, there's your proof that yes, I have. And what was with those shirts? Did you know they were like down to our elbows? We've gotten a little more stylish since then as well. But you know what? We will still hang on to these classics, dig them out of the drawers when we can, so that we can show you our Spirit of Kansas love through the years. I hope you have a safe and happy 4th of July, everyone, and that you enjoyed this trip into our WIBW Video Vault.